My name's Eric Burke. I'm VP of Marketing at Solutions IQ.
Great. And can you tell me about an Agile success that you had?
Sure, absolutely. I got introduced to Agile and Scrum in 2002. I was part of a team that was adopting a new approach in quite dramatic fashion. It was we'd had struggles getting off the ground with a new platform, new product. And the product manager that was running it was working over six to 9 months trying to accumulate all the requirements that were going to drive the definition of this brand new product. And went through many rounds, taking the requirements back to the engineers and the architects, and they invariably find lots of holes in it, and send the product manager off to go fill them. And over time, the requirements document grew 300 plus pages. And meanwhile, we weren't getting any code written, and we were losing pace on the market. So it was a VC-backed company, and it got to a point where it was we needed to make a change. We needed to get to developing code, and so we brought in a very smart guy named John Scumniotales as director of development, and they let the product manager go. They asked John and I to figure out what was going to be the core themes for the release, and we had complete carte blanche on what we were going to try to incorporate. They were going to leave it in the hands of marketing coupled with product development to figure out. The only requirements were that it needed to ship June 1st. So we had 9 months to figure it out, and we had a ton of requirements, but we didn't have anything we could get going on. And so John led the way, kicked in, got us going on elaborating requirements in a very agile fashion, got out of the whole requirements business. We trashed all 300 pages. I'd refer to it occasionally, but I would never go back there. And we identified what were the big elements that we needed to be sure and have from a marketing perspective. What were the core elements foundationally for a first generation product that needed to be there June 1st. And we laid out a series of sprints and got going. So it was pretty transformative. It was pretty amazing.
Did you make your delivery day with enough features?
We were 3 weeks behind what we had set our goals starting, and so we laid out the plan in September. We identified the major key areas of functionality that needed to be there. Had very little in the way of documentation. We knew as we got into the sprints that we'd work out the details, elaborate the requirements as we got there. And we were shooting for June 1st. I think it was June 23rd we launched the product, which from my background, coming from a management consulting background where we'd had huge IT projects extend continuously, to make that forecast that far in advance around the launch date and hit it within a month was, for me, it was just phenomenal. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Excellent. So, and what are you doing now at Solutions IQ? You said marketing.
Yeah, so we're trying to be as agile as we can as a services company, but at Solutions IQ what we do is we provide leadership, both consulting and training for organizations adopting Scrum and other agile techniques. And my job now as VP of Marketing is to get the word out there about what Solutions IQ is all about, and help organizations to be successful implementing Agile. So we've got a bunch of very experienced guys that are really good about, got their own stories to tell, and they do a wonderful job training and taking that knowledge to other organizations that are getting started with it.
Is there, you want to tell me about a failure, or is there anything else that comes to mind?
I think there's always sort of trade-offs when you kind of shift to an Agile approach, a Scrum-based approach. The velocity and the ability to deliver on schedule is great. What was really very interesting to me was that the engineering practices that are required to really make it go, to make that engineering, make that drive. So that was some of the things that John Scumniotales also brought, was a continuous integration discipline to developing the code that we were developing. Brought in test-driven development, elements of other types of techniques that were going to help us to deliver product on an iterative basis. And so the things that was very interesting and very telling to me, actually, was after we had this remarkable success. So 9 months later, launched a whole new product. It was very foggy, it was very difficult, but it was all brand new, and we set up all the unit tests all along the way, and it was really instrumental kind of pulling us over the end around the quality. We turned around and applied the same people with the same process to the legacy code that didn't have all the automated tests, it didn't have a lot of the structures that were built, and the team really struggled. They really struggled to meet the deadlines, they really struggled to complete the sprints. As they get into the code, things were breaking left and right, and so it was interesting to see what happened at the management level, to see them this overwhelming success and then turn around and have the struggles around the approach. And to me, it sort of proved the need to, it's not just about Scrum and the project management methodology, but it's about the techniques that allow you to sustain the pace and develop code. And so those continuous integration elements, for me, that was a very telling failure of trying to apply it without all the complete tools, right, on legacy code that just hadn't been built that way.
Yeah. So did the tools include intelligent coaching? And is there a human element to that?
You know, there was, and it was interesting. We, I think with John's background, so he had spent time with Jeff Sutherland at Agile and learned a lot about how to do this as a Scrum Master. And what was interesting to me is that the way he brought it in, we probably launched before I even realized what we were doing. I don't think I even realized we were using Scrum or elements of Scrum. John was, he brought in a bit of a new philosophy, talked about sprints, that was something new for us. But he didn't come in waving a big flag, so it wasn't something new. And I think that was very important. It was I give him all the credit. It was to be able to come in and just start doing, just start implementing things, trying things that didn't work, he didn't push it too long. Things that did work, he stuck with them, and brought in some very good people that were experienced in it. And so the company was able to transform really rapidly that way, supplementing it with people that kind of knew the process, as well as not making it too much of a religious war. So that was you know, a subtle way of kind of coaching the organization and bringing it on. I think that was in 2002. I mean, it's a very different world now. There's Scrum certification, and there's coaching to be had, and there's so many books that have been written in the time, and there's some great people that have done some amazing things. So we were very much sort of making it up as we went and figuring it out.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I was happy to do it.